Hello, Super Show here, and today I'm playing Danganronpa. Yeah, so I had to like wait a while to record another video because in the last video, if you hadn't heard, my mic was messing up. Wait, I gotta check if the mic's working. My mic was messing up. Yeah, it works fine. It works fine. Okay. The thing about this new mic, it's kind of hard to hear myself. Okay, well, let me just get into it. You're the only one who can wear this costume. So who else could possibly be the costume attacker?
What the heck?
How do you know I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on for yourself before you convict me. Fine, if you're gonna be a jerk about it, I will. Without missing a bit, Hina started putting on the Robo Justice costume.
See, look. See how loose it is? I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me.
Right.
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hiro could have fit into this dumb costume.
In a huff, Hina took the suit back off again. Well, now you're all out of excuses. No, see, it's 'cause you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. Okay. Against my will, I picked up the pieces off the floor and tried putting them on. It's no good, the arms are too long. There's no way I can wear this.
Just a second!
See, I told you it was impossible. You are absolutely right. It seems this costume was made to fit Hiro's body exactly.
But...
Then there's another costume. They must have one that looks the same, but fits them.
Honestly.
If you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence.
What the heck?
Evidence? You claim there's another suit, yes? Then you must find it and show it to us. What the heck?
Just the worst.
Who cares? Hiro's the only one without an alibi during this whole thing anyway.
That's terrible!
Which is how we know it was him.
What?
I mean, is that really true? I have no idea what's been happening. Could someone like tell me? I think my first time seeing Taka die, I was actually sad about it.
What the heck?
If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured out that someone's been killed, right? Hey Makoto, who is it? Well, 2 people were killed. Taka and Ifumi.
What?
Huh, what? 2 people?
Just the worst.
Why are you freaking out? You did it.
Please.
I did not.
Huh?
Wait, hold on. If those 2 are the ones that were killed,
How about that?
that's it. I know who did it.
So then.
You may as well tell us then. Taka and Fumi were fighting over our alter ego, right?
I'm at least 30%
Which
right.
means alter ego and or Chihiro must have done it.
Correct.
I see, that's unfortunate.
Please.
Huh, unfortunate. Stop trying to trick us. Just admit that you did it, okay? I'm telling you, you got it all wrong.
Oh, so then.
I know that note. Nope. Last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole. Maybe we can use it to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. But the last thing I remember is going to the rec room, and then for some reason I fell asleep.
Hey.
The real killer probably drugged me or something.
Just the worst.
Not a chance.
So...
No, hold on. He could be onto something. The nurse's office did have chemicals that could do that. What, really? I told you, someone's trying to set me up. A secret passage, a chance to escape. Someone wrote all that to trick me. Even if that's true, you must be the one dumb fish to bite every piece of bait that floats in front of you. Well, after being trapped here so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? They preyed on my desire to get out of here. They deceived me. I still don't buy it.
Don't be mean.
Well, you should buy it.
Just a second.
Okay then, show us that note. With pleasure, I have it right here in my pocket.
No way.
Looks like I lost it. Yeah, sure.
Please.
But please, y'all gotta believe me. I wouldn't hurt a fly. As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must produce evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason. What? For serious? Now then, shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins. Why do we need to keep investigating? We already know who did it.
What the heck?
Why did you kill him? Tell us, hero. Hi. No, it's like I said.
Just the worst.
Was it really to get the money from Monokuma offered us? Yeah, that must be it. You must be totally broke, and that's why. Wait, that's a false accusation. Someone help me.
What are you saying?
Just be thankful we haven't bound and gagged at you. If you have time to yell and carry on, you have time to search for your evidence, right?
What?
Oh, you're right. I need to look for the second suit in that note. Feet don't fail me now. I guess I'd better get back to the guard duty. I was gonna ask Toko or Genocide Jack to switch with me. But if she and Sakura got into a fight, we'd have a catastrophe on our hands. Well, bye. One by one, everyone peeled away. Makoto, do you have a second? Huh? I want you to help me with my investigation. It looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping. But can you promise me something? Later when we have time, will you tell me why you disappeared?
Why is that?
No. To reject me so simply. Anyway, I need your help. You don't mind, do you? Okay.
Shall we go?
Thanks. Now then, shall we?
Hey.
So Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses. Examine the corpses? I can't believe I'm hearing that from a girl the same age as me.
Correct.
You got my purple card?
Dead bodies don't lie. You know, they tell the truth. Far more easily than the living.
Hey.
Would you agree? How am I supposed to answer? Anyway, we have to hurry before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Okay then. Show me where the bodies are. They're in the repository. Then I guess we should head that way for now. Wait. Okay. I might randomly start being quiet at a random time. So yeah. Okay. Open to the repository. Hifumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid, but only for a moment.
So then.
Well then, let's get started. She crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation began poking and prodding at the bodies. The Monokuma file was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Her movements were so smooth. She was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little more comfortable. Okay. Taka was killed by a blow to the head. He must have been struck with Justice Hammer 4, which was laying on the floor in the equipment room. And there's a tarp laid out under his body. The killer must have used it to move Taka's body. That way it wouldn't leave any blood stains as it was moved.
I see.
Makoto, I found something.
Hey.
You did? You remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand? He did? Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? No, that's not it. Anyway, so he said he had a watch.
So then,
Take a look. It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? It's most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. And if you notice, the hands are frozen at just past 6 o'clock. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime just after 6.
that's right.
But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. Hey you, how long? Okay.
In other words,
So if it worked at 10 last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m. Meaning, it must have happened at 6 this morning. Okay.
however,
And that's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. He appears to be gripping something. You're right, there's something white in there.
Makoto,
Can you try and pry it out? Me?
because
Rigor mortis has already set in. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? Okay. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Taka's cold hand. The ice-cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. A piece of paper.
Hey.
Was that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
is that right?
I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's
So
body.
then,
Let's check Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he's left us a few clues of his own. Okay. So did you find
Indeed.
anything? I did, more than I expect, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of
That's
paper.
right.
Hifumi had it hidden on him. Hidden.
indeed.
He'd stuffed it in his pants, so I can only assume he'd hidden it there on purpose. In his pants. Wait, so you...
Why is that?
It was just his pants, not like his socker or something. I don't know what that
Hey.
means. Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, open it up. When I think of how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like it better be important to Hifumi, or I'll never forgive you for this. I don't know. I found a hole. Maybe we can use it to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else. So for now, let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
So,
That sounds familiar. That's it. It's the same thing Hiro had. Then he was telling the truth.
however,
Although it's not exactly the same, is it? Last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door, and here's what it said. Okay. The time is different. Hiro told us that his note said to meet at 1 a.m. But the note they wrote to Hifumi asked him to meet at 6 a.m.
is that right?
Hold on, just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him.
So,
Part of it has been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there. There's some meaning to part of it being ripped off. Could you maybe explain it a little more? Think
Hey.
carefully. Why would he have been clutching the scrap paper so tightly? I have no idea.
so then,
What if it wasn't just a scrap paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer.
hey,
While we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had their handbooks on them. So the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there was any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place. So you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks at this time, right?
is that right?
If you didn't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was they weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. A handbook may play a role. I don't think I understand. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I'd better keep it in mind. Alright. Hey, the class trial is starting.
Are you... Make your way to...
Alright.
It would seem...
It's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You have to figure out the rest for yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right.
Shall we go?
Well, we'd better get going. Okay. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. And as soon as we were all there...
Monokuma appears!
What the frick? I completely forgot about this. Hello, hello, hello. He's multiplied?
Wrong.
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way. 'Cause of an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I'm multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy, tough crowd.
You're not playing along?
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay. Hey! Hey!
Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train or elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we?
Please!
Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're going to pay for your sins.
What the heck?
I told you already, I didn't do it, for serious. That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume or that note? Well, no, but... Unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit. This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's get down there first, then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive. And for the two that lost their lives. The one who killed them, Hifumi and Taka. The one who killed two of our friends. The killer is... someone right here. I took one last deep breath and it exhaled slowly. I began to walk towards the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the doors closed on their own, and the stillbots began to move. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled out all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator doors slid open, opening up onto a cruel fate. When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only because of you. Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What?
Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute.
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break.
Yahoo!
I'd never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats. And so the curtains open once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Yes. Well, I got 2 new skills and I want to see what they do. I should already have this encrypted. Wait. Did I get this from Hifumi or Kyoko? The focus code. Okay. I can't equip it. This is like one of like the most useful abilities in like the version 2. Wait. Yeah, I don't need this, I guess. We'll finish.
Let's begin with a basic if you can, I'll punish everyone now.
We already know.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place.
Already jumping to conclusions.
Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
I feel like everyone in this room is just stupid except for Makoto.
Who are you calling a murderer?
And Kyoko.
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know, I don't know, I don't know!
Is Hiro really the killer, or before anything else, we have to make that clear.
Everything we found in your room, the blueprints, the suit parts, they are all that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why?
Wait.
No! Just hold on a second.
Alright.
Everything we found in your room, the blueprints,
The suit parts, they are all proof enough.
Okay. Why does she sound like that when you slow it down? Holy crap.
everything we found in your room, the blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why?
No! Just hold on a second.
Alright.
Everything we found in your room.
My god. Oh, I completely forgot what to do here. Y'all see Hiro's message?
The blueprints, the suit parts, they are...
Okay, I guess it was. Okay. Well,
are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
Yeah, I'm gonna be right back, and if you are watching this video not live, then skip. I'm back.
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote. The handwriting's obviously different. When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I say.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
Yep.
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
What?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course he passes it off to me.
Who was in the Robo...
Suspicious, the Illuminati. That's right, they're all working behind the scenes to try and set me up. Those dudes are super scary, for serious. Okay. The person in the suit was Hina. Why me? I like how she's smiling when she says that. That costume was super big on me. No way could I walk around in that thing. You saw me try it on for yourself, Makoto. I seriously brought it back to Hiro.
Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense! You just said Hiro didn't do it!
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption! And what reason do you have to make such a statement?
Of course. But there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around!
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
The tarp, for one. There's still one more thing. The dolly.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with that?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the doll. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the doll.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway. We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean, but maybe I can change her mind. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. Oh, wait, is this quick in? Okay. I know, it's, I have to reload now.
You have it wrong! I cannot agree! You are a fool! So pathetic! Lies will get you nowhere! Do your worst!
But
You miserable wretch! I cannot agree.
That makes things much more easier.
Do your worst. You have it wrong.
No.
I cannot agree. You are a fool.
This makes the music sound so terrible.
Nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch.
Come on.
I cannot agree. You are a fool.
Wow, you don't have to be so rude. Okay.
I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
There we go.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheels. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
Okay. What does he mean? The repository dolly?
As we know, Taka was killed
oh,
in the equipment room.
wait.
And from there, the body was...
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off.
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah. But even without a hand, all you'd have to do is bend over. Then you could push the dolly, no problem.
Wait.
So the killer just carted the body off to the repository.
If you accept everything, then you must realize that whoever was in the suit...
Sorry, I don't think I realized
Yeah, I know what to do.
As we know, and from there...
Yeah, the then loaded it onto...
Now, keep in mind that...
Well, yeah. But even with all
you have to do is bend over.
No,
there we go.
Wrong. You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible! Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance that the costume was taken off just to move the body because... Right. Can't take it off by yourself.
I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
Right.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right!
So, It's really, really true that Robo-Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo-Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How'd you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice. That's what I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond the individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second!
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then. Let's take another look back at. I suppose we could start with this. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up. So that was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour, because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office,
when Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Okay.
And then... At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor, to let the others know what had happened.
meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again. But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation, and from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Right. The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. Alright. Oh, great. Good. I have another one of these parts. Right.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before, or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
Oh, dang it!
Shoot!
Right.
So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Oh my god!
It's true that Hifumi was killed while Taka's death
came from a
swing of justice.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Why?
So, I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you
say
that?
Wait a second.
Because of the numbering of the...
It's true that Hifumi was killed while Taka's dead.
See? So it's
I
obvious
just want to talk about Sakura's voice when you slow it down.
So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was... We already know what order they were killed in.
What?
Shoot! So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was... We already know Taka came last.
Wait.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
It's true that he flew while Taka's dead.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
The numbering of the justice hammers.
So, I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed.
No,
oh, I was actually right.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. I feel like there was something. Oh, great. I don't have a good amount of hearts for this. The wristwatch. I can't get a single letter wrong. Ah, dang it. Ah, dang it. Okay. C. Okay. Okay, there we go.
Now I understand. I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because...
Okay.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window, because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Yeah.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it?
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said, his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time.
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
The dead body moved on its own?
Okay.
No! Not another ghost!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is...
she's not.
We thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That... it isn't possible.
Nah. The idea that Hifumi was still alive, is it really possible? Okay.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
Right.
No. It is impossible. Hifumi was dead. Without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Oh yeah. I know what to do now.
Are you saying that when we first
found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No.
It is impossible.
Okay.
Hifumi was dead.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discover Hifumi's dead body, and that is why the—
Are we really so— Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Wait. You'll see.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance you—
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body Hifumi's dead
body had been found. No, that's wrong.
I'm basically stilling what what Kyoko was about to say.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
I don't know.
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy...
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Second time the second body discovery announcement, the first time it played was when we found each body in the... Alright. Second time was when both bodies were... Wait. When Togo was found unconscious just after... Okay.
I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies. It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us.
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, being discovered for the first time.
So when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, meaning he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boo!
I keep forgetting that Genocide Jack is here right now.
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive.
This whole thing is pointless.
Alright. Oh, they know the proof. Yeah.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in... And then, while me and Celeste were in the bath, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw it was in the
But when you compare his body before being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Yeah, there was.
No, it's wrong! In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office.
It was the handkerchief. Or the cleaning cloth, I mean.
It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean, and the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles. From Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive and the nurses he pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on, and with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains...
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it everywhere, but he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one who moved Taka's corpse was Taka himself. Wait.
Shoot!
I just want to see what they would say.
It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside.
Honestly, they could have used this chapter as a excuse for Taka to kill someone because of the whole Kyondo thing.
Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murder.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
The note in his pants. Yes, I remember the note in his pants.
I got it!
I don't feel like the DE handbook's gonna be using this.
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In pants?
Yes, his pants.
What?
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different.
Bro.
In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro, and that person could only have been...
Me.
Shoot! In other words, the killer got... and that person could only have been...
I watched a video about someone selecting this. It's just like... It's just weird.
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still. I can't let her get to me. Okay. Ah, 5. Dang it.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
Alright.
But remember what the note said.
Wait.
What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No,
Yeah, it does.
wrong. No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
The rip piece, I think. Yeah.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi!
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's...
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from its death grip, leaving behind only one small... Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa, yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole... In fact, he was behind the whole thing! In fact, he's still alive!
You think that?
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead.
I don't know.
The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed him?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's...
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Alright.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus! Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after.
Hell yeah! It's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill him?
The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. Okay. Oh yeah, I think I know what it is. Spot this hammer.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure. How was the culprit able to move around? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
Ah, dang it.
Shoot!
What was used? Was it just maybe Justice?
Well, there's
Okay.
one. How was the culprit? How did nobody...
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5! Check out murdergear.com/hammer.
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
No.
No, that's wrong. The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously?
I need to get all my
weapon?
health back before the before I have to create the whole scenario.
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with.
And the one who betrayed...
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this.
Right. At least that's what I thought first, but... Okay.
Based on the rules that have been, even if more than one person is only the one who actually carried out the act, assuming the rule holds true. It is simply impossible.
That is how the rule was.
But that only really applies if in this case, however, there were 2 murders.
Wait, okay.
Based on the rules that even if more than one, only the one who actually carried, assuming the rule holds true.
Just stealing Kyoko's spotlight again?
Since there were 2 murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been 1 murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only 1 person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that 2 people could act as each other's accomplices to commit 2 separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating 2 separate, and it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer did. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan.
Right.
And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful! How could anyone be—
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
Different meaning, to convince us, okay. Kiko must have noticed the fact from the very beginning. That's why she said not to look at a series, of connected events with entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi?
That's problem numero uno right now!
True killer manipulated Hifumi, okay. The debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded when you consider it, it's only one real person who seems fit. No, I gotta do it. Psych Amazona. Okay. Celeste.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke?
Right.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless goddamn
Calm
idiot!
down. Calm down.
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the 2 of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the 2 of you were working together.
Paper hidden in Hifumi's pants, the screaming. Countering the suspicious individual.
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush, the adults are talking now.
Wow.
Sorry. As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, something, okay.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
she let out a blood-curdling.
And when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Okay.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we...
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Okay.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to...
Certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi wouldn't be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but... Looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around frightened and confused. We're all gonna die here. We're all gonna die just like those guys did.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being... Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it.
Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make any sense. But what is he alluding to? Okay.
All I said was...
The handbook.
They must really be enjoying the sight of us standing around. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Okay. So...
All I said, they must really be enjoying the sight of us. They must be... We are all going to die here. We are going to die.
Just like those guys died.
Oh my gosh.
And that's all it takes.
I did not mean
so
to do
strange
that.
About Celeste's comment?
Okay.
All I said, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be... We are all going to... We are going to die. And that is all I...
And that's all it takes. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Wait.
All I said, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be... We are all going to die here. We are going to die.
Just like those
guys died. And
oh my gosh.
What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
I need to stop holding it.
All I said, they must really enjoying the sight of us. They must be... We are all going to die.
We are going to die. Just like...
There we go.
That's wrong.
I messed that up like a couple times.
There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that...
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took?
Okay.
How do you explain this picture of the...
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of... If everything I told you was a lie, how can this...
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging...
What could you possibly mean by...
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered.
No, there is no other...
Other explanations? If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the only other possibility is... Hifumi and the suspect are dancing. Right. Hifumi and the suspect had been drinking. Obvious. Okay. Hifumi is dragging the suspect away.
It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation...
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such as is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste is so rude. Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible? Yeah?
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, the suspect, if the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Wait.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is the culprit after all!
No way!
Wait.
You dressed me up in that suit after, then you just draped me across. You tried to make me look like the.
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, that if the person inside the suit, there's no way
They could stand up straight.
No, that's wrong.
I like how she sounds when you slow it down on her.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a
Second time they
mistake.
mentioned that this whole trial.
I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Oh no.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate? Celeste? Clearly! You want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
And this is why people suspect you. Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right, I remember their names. Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Wait! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Nice lie.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense.
Wait.
You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro. But are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko.
Think back to how Hifumi used to... How did he refer to each of us?
He said for serious a lot. He gave everyone nicknames. He said people's last name.
That's right. Our last names. He called us all by our last names.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. And that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Fine! Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
She angry. So I still won't give up. So then I have to do something to make her accept it. Oh, I thought it was gonna be a closing argument. Okay.
Hifumi was trying to tell
The
us that
handbook.
he wanted us to know the killer's last name.
Oh.
If there's one person
It does.
here
It
who
does.
might have that last
It
name,
is. It does come in
It would
handy.
have to be you, Celeste. You haven't.
How many times do I have to tell my name? Celestial Ludendorff, god damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. And since you have no way to
Contradict me?
No, that's wrong. That's it. The handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up. Monokuma told us all about it before. So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really... Please, just tell...
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because...
Okay.
Because...
Trying to cover for all the, Trying to cover for yourself?
Until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes, and that'll bring everything to an end.
Alright. I got this. I can do it. What is that face? What the frick? So... Pretty sure... My god. Why does Tsufumi have so much weird faces in this? I think this goes right here. Act 2. Okay, Yasuhiro came in. Okay. And... when he came in... The chips, I guess. Okay. Wait, no, just switch these two around. Okay. Then the killer took pictures. Wait. Okay. Check his watch. And wait, no. I think if I would put wait. No. This one does go right here. Then would that mean that the clock one goes back over here? Wait, I gotta make sure of something. Yeah, the ship bags don't go here. Okay. And... Okay. This was the use of Justice Hammer 4, if I remember. And you showed the picture. We went here. And looks like Hifumi was attacked with Justice Hammer 2. Wait. Okay. And then we left, and this is when, yeah, Hifumi went crazy with that stuff, and Justice Hammer 3 was on the ground, and right here, oh my gosh, he moved this. That does not look like it's supposed to. Right. Okay. And this is when, well, it's not this one. It's this one.
Here's exactly what happened.
Come on.
Before
You have to
anything,
be right.
The killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
I cannot get over that face. Wait.
First,
Okay.
they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. They drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit.
Okay. Well, I got it right so far.
Next, Hifumi positioned while the killer
There's
used
no
a
way I got
digital
one wrong.
camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker.
Okay.
And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan.
He was still Kyondo when the murder
They
happened.
called Taka to the equipment room.
I think.
And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1, and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2, and an injured Hifumi, to sell us that story.
I'm kind of curious if they actually just like hit themselves to cause the injuries.
With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. While we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for.
Okay.
He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovered,
Okay.
we left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment.
How did he even get past us, though?
He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act.
They made Hifumi look stupid throughout this whole thing.
Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the
all
one
right,
person
let's
who
go.
could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. Celeste, sorry, you lose.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Wow, what happened to the whole accident?
Interesting.
Alright. Good score on everything, let's go.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no, I suppose this is the end.
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the black? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What?
It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The black in this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was Celestia Lunenburg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost, well that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Yeah. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculation.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan, but how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure he replied on her specialty lying. My specialty. Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to him to get him to agree.
So then...
Then did you use, I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice, I used her. Him, you mean. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but... It was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean, is she talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt, we're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop, as usual, how sad.
In other words...
Then you're the one that stole it.
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
Why are y'all just gonna casually talk about alter ego in front of Monokuma? And you used it to drag Fumi into the plan you come up with.
So it's their fault.
Right again. Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Fumi a little visit. Oh, what are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you alone.
What? Are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it. What?
So then...
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? And as it turned out, I'd find use for the digital camera. I'd taken, you know what, to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it. I deleted pictures as soon as I had showed them to Hifumi, of course. Wait. Wait. Okay.
Damnation!
So it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to him. You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
What?
As for me...
Please forgive me, he threatened me. He did?
As for me...
He came to my room last night and announced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
And he took pictures. He said I did, if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime, an absolute crime. I mean, I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but I never imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. Wait. Right. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to freaking kill him. Oh god.
Most unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands.
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape, and he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean Taka is going to try to kill you? Yeah. What?
Indeed.
And also, he can keep her to himself.
Honestly.
Can we allow him continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? She
I swear I will save her!
Actually.
Then would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. Huh? I've devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Right. Oh no. The power of love, even love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me. I have another question for you. What was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. But it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But
so why'd you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid.
Huh?
That's it?
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I should cry.
Well.
Did Celestia just call him a disappointment? But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do? After that, assuming you had actually let him live.
Are you okay with this?
Wait. That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once someone showed up, I told him to stay. I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And he really believed that. Well, of course, that wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Fumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it all up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
So in the end...
So you had planned to kill him all along. But of course, there would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well...
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about that.
No, he derives his pressure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then what made you take things to this far? Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. Yeah. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
But...
Wait. All along you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
Little bitch.
Obviously that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. Wait. More than anyone else here. In here.
Little bitch.
I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And do you want to know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me...
And it was all for the dream. Yeah. And what was this dream of
Isn't
yours?
it wonderful?
To live in an European castle. A castle? I swear that one dude looks like Byakuya. And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers / bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Wait. Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream of a reality. I got right to the edge, but
there is nothing to be done.
Unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream till the very end. So why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it.
Oh.
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
Do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That was what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying on Plus. How can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unraveled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then
wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey.
You just get executed again. Celeste smiled again. And when she did, it looked to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings. But that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak fake smile is what betrayed her.
Thrills, chills, kills!
You all done? Okay, then let's get rolling. The Blackened disturbed the peace and must pay the price.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment!
For the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got!
It's punishment
I
time.
guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What?
This
Will
is
it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important.
I like how some characters have like have some
Well then,
like lines they say before they die.
Take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Okay. Wow, shows her kicking and screaming. That's not what she's feeling right now. Okay. I feel like this execution was very disrespectful towards Celeste. See, the burning of the Versailles witch is very disrespectful. Wait. Alright. Like, they're basically calling her a witch. Alright. Bro, in reality, that's not real fire. I swear that's not even real fire.
How are you sure though?
It's just cardboard cutouts.
Cutouts.
Ah, what's with the music?
That's the point of it. Creepy music. Make it sound like witch trials.
I do not remember the music, but the music makes it a little bit creepy. I like how like a random fire truck disappears and runs her over. And she's dead. Okay then. It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friend, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
You know, Celeste talked about how she did not want to come here in the first place. But why would she accept the invitation to come to Hope's Peak? Jeez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What? Do I care about hope? I'll just throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad!
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
So strange.
God, I'm sick. I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get rid of, get some kind of key type objects from Celeste?
Hey!
So what's the deal with that? Hey. So it's okay. What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine. What did you do? What'd you do to me? What?
Hey.
Answer me. What did you do to my body? Oh man, oh jeez, oh man, oh jeez. What do you mean, what did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? Mastermind did something to Kyoko's body?
Nope, that's dirty.
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here. Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
See ya later!
Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair, there was one small hope. Hey Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you? Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers. What then that means? Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey!
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we'd better go check it out.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. Wait. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey.
I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. Check in with you later. What exactly are you going alone?
So...
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance cameras. That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too. You? Please let me go. Staying here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us. Wait. Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
Well then.
That's up to you now. I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are totally pushovers. When you show a little backbone. I tried to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Yeah. We need to get into the locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste given her and unlocked the locker. As the locker swung open, we saw...
You really came.
Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I'd never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon, maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please wait. Just wait a little, just a while longer.
We're both plotting things.
So now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but can we take a second since we have this opportunity? I want you to be honest with me. Wait.
We are both plotting against you right now.
Me? Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school? Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
However...
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know. That just makes me even more worried.
What?
Worried?
Yeah, Evan.
Like what happened during the investigation. This time you disappeared and we didn't see you again. without warning, without explanation. When you do that,
Indeed.
it's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too. No, I believe in you. You believe in me? Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends.
I mean, I think you're about to start getting
I understand. Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more.
That's fine.
Then, fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see, what I heard from Kyoko then was, well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believed her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own 2 eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. And then when it did, I went into action.
Correct.
Okay. The boys' bathroom on the 2nd floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And in the closet, the storage closet, there are way in the back. She said it was way in the back in the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? What is the chapter in? Yeah. Okay. Just a normal storage closet, as far as I can tell. See, told me about. Could it really be hidden in here? She said it was way in the back of the storage closet. But I mean, seriously, without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet, and suddenly, as if I were being yanked in. At the same time, as I heard the sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. I had fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? It turned out the back wall was like a revolving door, and I had made my way to the other side. No. Just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
Okay. So this is a storage room. This is a secret room. But what's in here? Files. There's a bunch of files and what looks like volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Hope Speak Academy Student Registry. This is the only one in here not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? I slipped the file into my hand, but before I had a chance to look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the file and I turned my attention to it. What's this? You must not leave? That's kind of weird. I could understand it said like, I can't leave, but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. The strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before, but I can't quite remember. What do I do now?
Oh my gosh, that looks like
an actual what don't I know?
First boss.
Okay. A strange sound rang out through my head. It felt like it was shaking my brain back and forth. And then, darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over. And with that, I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long it had been. Ow. Apparently something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The dual throbbing pain in my head proved that much at least. Okay. An empty bookshelf. Huh? Empty? Gone? It's all gone. The yearbooks, the student registry, and even the note that had fallen on the floor. It's all gone. What does this mean? But my brain refused to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. But for now, I should go back to my room, get some rest. The chapter gonna end now? My body was heavy with pain.
Oh my gosh,
my mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back towards my room. Somehow, I made it back to the first floor of the school. The farther I walked, the more I felt. Things are getting blurry. Can't see in front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. And after that... As if from a vast distance, I heard a sound. It was faint but undeniable. Oh yeah, this is when the chapter ends. That sound. It's coming from the gym. As I desperately hauled my shaky frame towards the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. What's going on? It can't be nothing. Here in the gym. I didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sounds coming from inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much more. Okay. Okay. Before me, there raged a battle beyond anything humanly possible. No one side, not human, that's for sure. But regardless, I couldn't stop staring. I forgot to move or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat. No longer compromise. No longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay. But you do realize what will happen if you go through with this. You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Then could it be the mastermind spy is... Okay. And it ended. Okay. Wait. Okay, well, I'm going to end the video off here, I guess. Wait, I'm just gonna finish this dialogue real quick. Leon killed Sayaka. Monokuma killed Junko. Then Leon got executed. Then Mondo killed Chihiro. And then he got executed. Hifumi killed Taka. Then Celeste killed Hifumi. And then she got executed. And that brings us up to now. The next morning in the dining hall, the day after Celeste's case. Okay. Well, I'm going to end the video off here. See you guys in the next one. Bye. Wait.